Bird life is abundant, and flocks numbering in their thousands can be seen at certain special locations along our Namibian coastline. There are numerous vital bird life areas and areas that have special status and protection. One of these areas is the Walvis Bay Ramsar site. Ramsar refers to a protected wetland area for bird life of international importance. The lagoon boasts extensive flocks of greater and lesser flamingos, as well as an abundance of smaller birds such as black-winged stilts, avocets, and many other small waders. There is a good chance of encountering great white pelicans in certain areas close to the shore. For example, the waterfront in Walvis Bay. Several parking locations are available to view the bird life, or to take a walk along a walkway covering a large section of the lagoon. One may visit the Swakop River mouth on foot, and not by off-road vehicle, to view interesting bird life feeding in the shallow waters. Or perhaps even see some of the more uncommon bird species skulking through the reeds. Another site is the saltwork areas of both Walvis Bay and Swakopmund, where the man-made ponds for extracting salt through evaporation attract many different species of birds. Travelling past the Walvis Bay saltworks in the direction of a local fishing spot, Palkies, one could travel further north with a 4x4 vehicle towards Pelican Point. Fascinating bird life, as well as a seal colony, can be viewed here. At Donkey Bay, named Skeleton Bay by surfing professionals, is one of the 10 best barreling waves on the planet. This area is difficult to access due to thick sand, but is worthwhile. Hence the name Donkey Bay, as the old 4x4 vehicles had to engage low-range gear, known then as donkey gear. The Dorob National Park contains a large variety of plant life, most of which is hardly noticeable due to their small size. Close to the settlement of Vlotskasbaken, one can find a dense field of peculiar organisms called lichens. Lichens are tiny plants growing within the fog belt to obtain their moisture. There are countless lichen varieties in Namibia. The most prominent one growing in this area is the Telocystis capensis, a small orange-like grassy lichen. Driving or walking over them will certainly damage or kill these small but fascinating organisms of the Namib Desert. They act as an anchor point for grass seeds as well as providing shelter for small insects. They also help stabilize the precious upper soil layers against wind and occasional water erosion. In very dry seasons, springbok have been observed consuming certain species of lichens. Species on the gravel plains may look insignificant, but they're quite fascinating to see up close. These include pencil bushes, the hard-to-get lithops or stone plants, as well as the dollar bushes with leaves resembling round coins. All these plants utilize coastal fog in some way in order to survive. The Dorob National Park does not only aim to help protect the integrity of the Namib Desert ecology, but also to preserve our own human history. Human occupation in this area dates back many thousands of years. Evidence is found at various sites throughout Dorob National Park. The Kuiseb Delta, which is one of the most southerly points of the Dorob National Park, has been home to humans long before the first colonizers landed on the Namibian coast. There are sites with clay pot shards and ostrich eggshell necklace beads. Much of these rich archaeological treasures have been removed or destroyed over many years of uncontrolled activity. Further upstream in the direction of Rooibank are particularly hard to find ancient clay banks hidden amongst the dunes. You can even appreciate preserved elephant footprints from numerous centuries ago. There are also sites in the same clay surfaces with preserved human footprints. These were most likely from the early Nara melon harvesters, the ancient Topnow people. A cultural visit to villages in the vicinity of the Koiseb River will be a great chance to learn more about what life would be like if living in close contact with the desert. The Topnow people have built a rich cultural history of goat and cattle farming, as well as harvesting melons from the nara plants. The nara plant is endemic to the desert along Namibia's coast and grows only on sand dunes where subterranean water exists. The nara plant, also known as the butternut, is a particularly interesting plant. It is completely green in color, even the flowers. Instead of leaves, it only has thorns. The use of the thorns is to help deter herbivores, while at the same time shade the interior of the plant to reduce water loss. Once a year, the nara plant produces a crop of round, spiky fruits the size of a papaya, and is harvested by the Topnow people. These fruits are highly nutritious and, quite remarkably, have sustained the Topnow people for centuries. The seeds are allowed to dry while the rest of the nara plant is cooked. Nothing is wasted, and animal as well as humans share in this delicacy. The dried seeds are bagged for sale in the town or used for their own use. They are considered to be a bit of a delicacy and can be nibbled on as they are, or even roasted and salted. The life of the Topnow people is a way of life which most visitors cannot imagine. Yet it is amazing what the Topnow folks have achieved with limited resources at their disposal. Besides the Topnow people, one might encounter springbok and ostrich, as well as the occasional gemsbok along the Koiseb riverbed.